In a quiet moment on a May day, beside the still Neva River, an image stunned the world into silence. An old soldier, without legs, sits on a wooden board with a gentle smile, facing four young soldiers saluting him solemnly. No words were needed, because this photo said it all. The photograph was taken on May 9, 1989, Victory Day over Nazi Germany, by Ivan Kurtov, a photographer from the TASS news agency. At first, Leningradskaya Pravda refused to publish it, stating they did not want to print abnormal images. But just a year later, this very photo won first prize at the World Press Photo 1989 in the Everyday Life category. Behind its powerful symbolism lies the extraordinary story of a man, Anatoly Leopoldovich Golimbievsky. Fighting on the Little Land, Malaya Zemlya, and Golimbievsky's wounds. Let us return to the Myskako campaign of 1943, part of the Soviet military's Sea Plan, during the counteroffensive phase of the Caucasus campaign against the German Navy. In this amphibious operation, the Soviet Navy aimed to seize Novorossiysk by landing troops behind enemy lines. Once the town fell, the assault force would advance along the coastline, cutting off German troops retreating through the Kerch Strait. The land attack began on February 3, 1943. On February 4, the Special Landing Forces, including Golimbievsky, came ashore at Malaya Zemlya, the Little Land, near Myskako, south of Novorossiysk. After securing the peninsula, the Soviet Marines were divided into small units. Second Lieutenant Anatoly Leopoldovich Golimbievsky, born 1921 in Petrograd, belonged to the 393rd Naval Infantry Battalion under Rear Admiral Kunikov. His group became one of the original spearheads of the Malaya Zemlya outpost. From the very first day, they fought relentlessly, capturing German bunkers and turning enemy weapons back on the attackers. The battle on the Little Land dragged on for months under extreme conditions. Marines lived in makeshift concrete shelters, constantly shelled and bombarded with grenades. On September 14, 1943, with the 47th Army's Tank Division advancing from inland, the pier and final beachhead defenses had been reinforced. In those fierce final days, Golimbievsky's unit was stationed at a bunker near the western end of the peninsula, surrounded. According to combat reports, Golimbievsky was wounded on the first day of heavy fighting. A burst of German machine gun fire shattered the shin bone in one leg. Yet he refused to leave the front. With 13 comrades, Golimbievsky barricaded himself in a core bunker, holding out for 2 straight days. Food and water ran out. On the third day, he volunteered to crawl out in search of water. While climbing a hillside, a German mine fragment struck his other leg, inflicting a second grave injury. Still bleeding, he crawled to a nearby machine gun post, summoning the last of his strength to hurl a Lemenka grenade at approaching German infantry. The blast killed 3 enemy soldiers, but also tore into his right arm. Yet Golimbievsky refused to fall. He crawled back to the bunker, his body broken, but his spirit unyielding. Only 4 of his unit remained alive. The others had perished or were critically wounded. For 7 brutal days, the survivors held out without resupply. They were finally rescued by a naval motorboat that reached Malaya Zemlya on September 17, 1943, evacuated to a field hospital in Gelendzhik. Doctors diagnosed sepsis in both legs. At the Gelendzhik Military Hospital, Tbilisi, doctors asked, "Both your legs are necrotic. They must be amputated. Do you consent? I want to live," Golimbievsky replied. Even before the battle ended, his commanders had recommended him for the Order of the Red Star. His memoir read like steel forged in war. When the assault began, I was the first to charge the enemy ambush. Even after being wounded, I kept fighting, refusing evacuation. Wounded twice, both legs lost, but Golimbievsky never once surrendered to death. Life after war and the unbreakable will of Golimbievsky. After the war, Golimbievsky was honorably discharged. Despite having only a third-grade education, he never let disability define him. He threw himself into study and work, enrolling in technical school, working at the Adalon factory in Leningrad as an electromechanic, then in radio assembly. Later, he trained further, becoming an engineer at the All-Union Research Institute for Electronic Metrology, named after D.I. Mendeleev. Who would have guessed that a soldier once at death's door would go on to conduct precision measurements for Soviet science? Remarkably, Golimbievsky owned two hand-controlled cars, a Zaporozhets and a Volvo, both self-modified and self-driven. He was a master of all trades. He even repaired televisions, climbing to ninth-floor apartments by lifting himself on wooden crutches strapped to his arms. To earn money, to make my wife happy, to live a real life, said the photographer who captured him. His post-war contributions were recognized by the state. He was awarded the Order of Lenin, the Order of the October Revolution, and several medals for outstanding labor. Golimbievsky married, had a daughter, and lived his life fully with his beloved wife. The resilience of this double amputee veteran became a symbol of human triumph over fate. He also learned music, founded and conducted a brass orchestra at a research institute in Leningrad, and lived a humble yet meaningful life. A name that became legend. Long after the war, Anatoly Golimbievsky's name echoed like legend. In the 1970s, writer P.A. Sajjan immortalized his deeds in the book Sevastopol Chronicles, dedicating a chapter to his youth and bravery. Many articles and documentaries honored him as the quintessential Soviet naval infantryman, selflessly devoted to his homeland. Golimbievsky passed away in September 2001, at the age of 80. He once said, "I'm proud to be a naval infantryman. I believe in the invincible power and strength of our Navy, our great maritime nation." He was no general, simply Anatoly Leopoldovich Golimbievsky, a Russian soldier, a man who walked through war with only his hands and an unbreakable faith. He did not need legs to stand tall in life. Victory Day photo, a spirit of remembrance. In front of this iconic photo, one feels the thread connecting past and present. Golimbievsky is not just a legless veteran. He is a living testament to the unyielding Russian spirit. His warm smile seems to whisper, "We sacrificed too much for freedom. Live your lives worthy of that sacrifice." The story of Captain Golimbievsky transcends that of a lone soldier. He became a symbol of sacrifice and defiance, a living monument to every immortal fighter who once held the little land. Let us remember, each footstep that anchored Malaya Zemlya helped pave the way for final liberation. If this story moved you, let it move others. Like, subscribe, and share this video to help keep these hidden histories alive. Leave us a comment. What does courage mean to you? And don't forget to turn on notifications, because many more stories, just as haunting and human, are waiting to be told.